There was a king in a kingdom. He had a son. The king was not getting the boy married. The boy thought to himself, maybe my father will get me married today, or who knows, he might get me married tomorrow, or a month later, or a year later. The prince kept waiting like this. Days passed, months passed, even years passed, but the king would not get him married. The prince thought, if my father is not getting me married, then there is no reason to live. I will leave this place and go somewhere else. Thinking this, the prince chose a winged horse from the stable, tied a turban on his head, took weapons and kept some money with him, and set off abroad. As he walked, he came upon a dense forest. Nothing was visible in that forest. The prince looked far and wide and saw a blacksmith woman carrying a basket of dung cakes. The blacksmith woman looked at the prince and said, "Son, you look like a prince. Why have you come to this land? The unworshipped goddess is sitting there with a sword. She will devour you any moment. Why have you come to this land? Now go back." The prince said, "It's okay, auntie. If that unworshipped goddess devour me, let her. I have come here only to die. I am not afraid of death, auntie." Saying this, the prince continued on the same path. Then, with twinkling eyes, Anaradhita Devi said to him, "Son, I who have been hungry for 3 days have found you today in the form of food. Come quickly, I will eat you." The prince said, "If you want to eat, eat." Anaradhita Devi said, "Get off the horse and I will eat you." The prince said, "I will never get off. Anaradhita Devi's vehicle is a horse. So how can she eat the prince by taking him off the horse?" The goddess grew tired of asking him to get off the horse several times, but the prince refused. Finally, the goddess said, "You turn it out to be very clever. I am pleased to see your courage. Ask for any boon of your choice." The prince said, "What boon should I ask for? Give me a girl of my choice." The goddess, who is not worshipped, said, "Son, if you go west, you will come across the kingdom of demons. When you reach that kingdom, all the demons will be out grazing. Then sweep their houses and clean them, wash their utensils, cook 200 pots of rice and 100 pots of vegetables. In the evening, when the demons return from grazing, hide in the attic. Do this every day. The day the demons say, 'Son, who are you? We are pleased with you. Who are you? Come forward.' Then put a straw rope around your neck and fall at their feet." When the demons say, hearing this, the prince turned his horse west. On his way, he came across the kingdom of demons. When he reached their home, they had gone grazing. The prince entered the house and cleaned and polished all the utensils. He swept the house. Then he cooked 200 pots of rice and 100 pots of vegetables for them all. The prince was delicate. After eating the amount of food a bird would eat, he hid in the attic. When the demons returned from wandering the grazing, they saw the house was clean, the utensils were washed, 200 pots of rice and 100 pots of vegetables were cooked. The demons wondered who had done it. Then they all wiped the food together and ate it all. Then the next morning, all the demons got up and went to graze. Then the prince washed the utensils, swept the house, cooked vegetables and rice, ate himself and then went upstairs and sat down in the attic. The demons returned home and immediately sat down to eat. The prince continued doing this all day. One day the demon said, "Hey son, who are you? You served us so much, feed us so much. We are pleased with you. Who are you? Come forward." The prince put a straw rope around his neck, held a straw in his teeth, and fell prostrate at the feet of the demons. The demon said, "Son, ask for whatever boon you desire." The prince replied, "Give me the most beautiful girl in your house." The demons said, "Oh, what have you asked for?" "Have you asked for our beloved Belvati?" "Okay, son, since you have asked for it, while taking her with you, don't call out to her halfway. When you reach your city, call out, 'Arise, O Belvati.'" The demon said this and gave the prince a wine and said, "The girl is inside this." The prince happily took the wine and started back to his kingdom. While walking, he reached the well behind the place. Upon reaching there, he wondered if Belvati was actually a girl. To find out whether it was true or false, he called out, "Arise, O Belvati." As soon as the prince called out, a divinely beautiful young girl wearing a yellow robe, divine ornaments and jingling anklets came out from inside that wine. The prince, seeing the beauty of the divinely beautiful Belvati girl, fell unconscious right there near the well. Seeing this, Belvati girl started trying and tying the horse there and started massaging the prince's feet. In the meantime, it happened that an ugly woman came and strangled Belvati girl and threw her into the well, and wearing her ornaments and clothes started massaging the prince's feet. After a long time, the prince woke up to find a woman with a black broad dragging her feet. The prince thought sadly, "I have seen such a beautiful girl, but where did this one with a black brow come from?" The prince was mesmerized by her previous appearance. He was unaware of such deceit and trickery. He thought, if she is a Belvati girl from the demon city, she can take any from. The prince then took the ugly woman inside the place. All the citizens of the city were delighted to see the prince and the new bride. They all began talking about the new queen. The next day, 2 lotus flowers bloomed at the well where Belvati had died. The gardener saw the flowers and decided to give one to the prince and the other to the new bride. Thinking so, the gardener plucked both flowers and gave one to the prince and the other to the new queen. The new daughter-in-law asked the prince, "Where did these 2 flowers bloom?" The prince replied, "I don't know. Ask the gardener." Then the prince himself asked the gardener, "Hey gardener, where did these lotus flowers bloom?" The gardener replied, "Your Majesty, these flowers bloomed in the well behind the place." After asking the gardener, the prince said to the daughter-in-law, These two flowers bloomed in our vale. The black wasp had killed Belvati and threw her into the same well. So she was terrified. She thought, Belvati, what a skill it is. Thinking this, she went and told the prince, take these two flowers and break them into pieces and throw them in the field behind our place. I will see you doing this and then I will save my life. If you don't do this, then I will give up my life. The prince was frightened after hearing her words and immediately went to the field and broke the flowers into pieces and threw them away. The next day he saw a vine tree in that field. When the gardener passed by there in the morning, he saw that two vines had grown on that tree. The gardener was very happy to see the vines and thought, I will pluck both the vines. I will give one to the king and I will keep the other one. Thinking this, the gardener plucked both vines, gave one to the king and the other to the gardener. Both vines were the color of turmeric. The gardener kept the vine with great joy. The gardener said to her, hey, let's cut this vine and eat it. The gardener happily brought a dagger from inside the house. As he raised his hand to cut it, the Belvati girl inside the vine called out, Auntie, auntie, cut here, cut there, don't cut in the middle. Hearing a human voice from inside the vine, the gardener was startled and threw the vine away. Then the Belvati girl said, Auntie, I am the Belvati girl. I live inside the vine. You can keep me. Your house will be filled with more wealth than the king's. Hearing this, she bought the vine and cut it from here and there. A divinely beautiful young woman emerged from within and said, Aunt, don't tell anyone in the place that I am in your house. The king is Gobar Ganesh. If he finds out, he will cut me down. With that, the Belvati girl began living in the gardener's house. Soon the gardener amassed more wealth than the king. Every day, the Belvati girl would bath in the pond before dawn and return. One day, it was already late at night before Belvati woke up. She was hurriedly returning from the pond when a black bumblebee, strolling on the roof of her place, recognized her, went to her room, closed the door, and went to sleep. No matter how many calls she made, she would not listen. When the prince came and called out, she said, that gardener has a girl at home. It's been 3 days since she's been teasing and abusing me. I will spare your life when you crucify her. If you don't hang her immediately, I will give up my life. The king heard this and was furious. He brought his ministers, merchants, soldiers, nobles and guards with him to the gardener's house. The gardener and the gardener were sitting together. The king approached them and said, Gardener, you have a girl in your house. Every day she goes into our place and abuses and teases our new daughter-in-law. The queen, tell me, what does that girl mean to you? The gardener said, Your Majesty, that girl is my wife's Nancy, but she never goes anywhere. The king said, Gardener, if you don't give us that girl today to be crucified, your throat will be slit. The gardener and his wife had no other choice. With a heavy heart, they sent the girl with the king to the place of execution. The king took the girl, hanged her, and returned to the place where Belvati had been crucified. The wall rose on its own within one night, forming a Shiva temple. The next day, everyone saw that a temple had been built within the surrounding wall. Mahadev had incarnated within the temple. Everyone who saw it was astonished until yesterday. There was no track of any house or door here. Today, from nowhere, a temple was built and Shiv resides within it. Everyone was astonished. Men and women from fair and wide began gathering to see Mahadev. Then everyone went and told the king, Your Majesty, where you crucified that girl yesterday? There is a huge wall surrounding it, and inside it is a temple, and the Lord Shiva is inside it. When the king heard this, he immediately went there and saw that what they were saying was true. Then the king called the gardener and said, Gardener, every day you should bath and worship Lord Mahadev with flowers and sandalwood. Bring us the Lord's feet water every day. The gardener reached the temple that day, bathed Mahadev with flowers and sandalwood, worshipped him with a bull, and returned it with the feet water, and brought the king the feet water. In this way, every day the gardener bathed and washed Lord Mahadev. He would worship by offering flowers and leaves of the vine. One day, while the gardener was praying, a parrot and a manna were sitting on a tree near the temple. The parrot said, Didi, Didi, tell me a story. The manna said, Okay, brother. Should I tell the truth or a lie? Or should I tell what I saw with my own eyes? At that time, the gardener was bathing Mahadev. The manna told the parrot, one by one, all the pain and suffering that the black bumblebee had caused to the Belvati girl. After hearing everything, the parrot said, Didi, is there no solution to this? Manna said, if the king lay down in front of Mahadev at this very moment, holding a straw in his teeth and wearing a straw rope around his neck, the Belvati girl would immediately emerge from the snectorium. The gardener, listening to Maina, started writing everything on the temple wall. The gardener got late while writing everything. The king sat, waiting for the gardener to get Charnamrit. The gardener approached the king, trembling, and said, If I have a head, I will open my mouth. The king said, Tell me what is the matter. The gardener said, Your Majesty, you must visit the Mahadev temple yourself. The king arrived with his entourage. The gardener showed him what he had written on the wall. The king, wearing a straw rope around his neck, fell before Mahadev. Immediately after his fall, the Belvati girl emerged from the snectorium in divine form, wearing a yellow robe and adorned with ornaments. The king happily returned to the place with the Belvati girl. Shouts of victory echoed throughout the kingdom. The king crucified Kaliburi. The prince was married to the Belvati girl with the new queen in his arms. The prince set up his household.